Jelantru, greetings and welcome aboard the ISS Lorca and to ShadowStar. Currently in the vicinity of Deep Space Nine for this Star Trek Online Starship Stats Review video. Recently released was the incredible, simply incredible, 12th anniversary Terran Starship bundle, bringing with itself some incredible benefits. Before we actually begin, can I please give a thank you to Negus, Dante Demonic, Skyhawkings, Tribal Typhoon, XG Blackbird, Travis Games, Spike, Captain Riggs, Miss Future Teach, Fox Plays Games, and Lord Arminger for their generosity and support that they have given to this channel to help to make this video, as well as other reviews and other videos, possible. With that being noted, allow me to introduce you to, is it the Mirror Trailblazer or the Mirror Pathfinder right now? I'm kind of kit bashing the two together and fix the one thing I don't like about the Pathfinder. No, but seriously though, may I introduce you to the Trailblazer, or the Terran Trailblazer Science Warship. A powerful and mighty vessel, part of the new 12th anniversary Terran bundle, and continuing the things you get with it, I will say right now, it is currently a very good deal. Buying it on its 25% off, bringing it down to 13,125 Zen, costing, in British speak, £80, which, considering one Zen Starship is worth £20 or £21 roughly, and there's 4 Zen Starships that you can buy individually here if you wished. You can also purchase this ship in question currently for 24,000 Zen, or at normal pricing it will be 3,000 Zen. It is an excellent pickup when we talk about this vessel. The benefits you get with it are quite good too. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, let me quickly show you the customization options of this ship before we get into why everyone is really here. Actually, scratch that. I do this every time, don't I? I feel like we should start right here with this vessel like this. The beauty is on screen. She's amazing. Let's give her credit and due, shall we? So, straight to her stats, and in some ways I may be starting off with the best of the entire lot. She is a tier 6 ship available to any faction with a hull modifier of 1.15, a shield modifier of 1.3, with 4 forward and 3 aft weapons, fixing the weaknesses of the legendary Intrepid Warship, 3 device slots, a base turn rate of 12, an impulse modifier of 0.18, inertia rating of 50. She has plus 10 to weapons and auxiliary with bonus power settings. An innate ability, the Agony Phase, more on that shortly. She can equip dual cannons. She is a command vessel and as such has the inspirational abilities. We all know a certain one of them is very powerful for DPS. She has subsystem targeting, sensor analysis, and my personal favourite, the secondary deflector, the EPG super weapon of EPG builds. Her Starship ability package is the Science Vessel, giving her a boost in exotic damage, Starship shield HP, healing, shield regeneration and hardness, and we'll get into the trait console momentarily. Console wise, she's equipped with 4 tactical, 2 engineering and 5 science, and then to round off this masterpiece of a starship, she has 1 ensign engineering. It's the weakest spot. A lieutenant tactical, a lieutenant commander tactical, a lieutenant commander universal, and a commander science. The specialised bridge officer positions are: the Lieutenant Tactical has Miracle Worker specialisation, and the Commander Science has Command specialisation. These being a very good combination, maybe not the best, but brilliant when it comes to DPS kinetics builds. And, oh, do I have to point this one out? EPG. Miracle Workers, you do like to help out somewhat in that area, even though you're only really have one control EPG ability. It is relatively effective. Beautiful ship sitting below me right there. Wouldn't mind getting that one day myself. Now, from what we're talking about, let's get to something more interesting, shall we? First things you may notice is that I have gone for not exactly the top end build I can go for, but I've aimed towards bolstering both energy and exotic damage. This ship actually takes exotic to its upper levels, and I'm utilizing some budget build stuff to give you guys. The attempt is to show you guys what you can achieve without having to spend too much in game. As this, I like to believe this ship is going to be a budget building beauty for future EPG builds. Certainly, I foresee this ship as being a absolute stunning masterpiece of hybrid DPS capability. For anyone that doesn't know, hybrid DPS is extremely important to anyone who is a support DPS player like myself, because you need to have some level of additional damage on top of your weakened typical tactical DPS, seeing as you're spending a lot of time also control boating. The practice of support DPS is to achieve bolstering control and debuffing of enemies so that the allies that you have that are DPS players can deal the maximum level of damage output. You also need to be strong enough to sufficiently damage any threat to those tactical players. Essentially, you're a tank without generating threat, and you're also a nerfer of all enemies. You see the problem with support DPS? They're trying to do a lot at once. I like it though, I like the challenge. This ship has relatively come out quite well. Now, the console you get with this ship we have is the decrystallized immunity. Honestly, this doesn't sound like it's going to be a great ability off the top, just when you talk about immunity. It summons an immunity drone, which gives you a vampant deflection drone for 10 seconds, making you immune to all damage while the drone is active. The drone can be targeted and destroyed. If the drone is destroyed before the 10-second period, then the recharge time is reduced. So say the drone is destroyed at the 5-second mark, it'll only take you 1 minute to recharge this console. Now, the other side effect from this is the fact that the immunity effect of this drone is in the same immunity category as any other immunity ability. Rock and roll, invincible, all of them fall together. Unfortunately, if you're in the cooldown for one immunity, this one cannot proc. However, if this one procs and then disables, you will find, from what I've tested, traits like invincible will still trigger. Thank Lord for that one. So, does that mean this is a bad console? No, not at all. You see, I've got a plus 25% critical severity boost right now. This is a boost that scales with your exotic particle generation. Now, because I'm using such a high amount of exotic particle generation on this starship, I have actually boosted my critical severity quite substantially with this ship. Sorry, with this console. I've also got a plus 15% shield capacity boosted on this ship, which just means this ship can tank a little bit more of its shields, and it's a little bit more effectiveness for shield tanks. Altogether, this is actually really useful for someone who hybrids shield tank and control. Honestly, though the active ability of this console isn't anything amazing, useful but not amazing, the passive more than makes up for it. As a result, well, I'm going to give this console 8 out of 10. And definitely have given me reason to recommend this ship just on the console's basis. But, we have something else here. Weaponized exotic particles. Weapon firing modes will grant you a boost in exotic particle generation. Yeah, but just because there isn't enough ways to boost exotic particles to begin with, let's have a trait. A trait that is actually really easy to keep up 100% of the time. Why? Because thanks to certain individuals, I know that it is possible to get your bridge officer cooldowns down to literally as fast as they can possibly be. Global, as a joke, could be made. Resulting in the moment one firing mode has ceased firing, you can already reuse it again. Because this trait has no cooldown on it and is active so long as you have a firing mode active, the result is, sufficiently, almost a permanent boost of plus 50 to your Starship exotic particle generation. Now, yes, you have to know what you're doing to achieve that permanent boost. Yeah, it's not amazing. Certainly there's other things you could do. As a result, this trait for me gets a 7 out of 10. Except for in the case of anyone dealing exotic builds, in which case that bolsters for me up to 8.5 out of 10. But again, that is not getting any higher because there are actually ways to do this easier. I'm literally using those ways right now. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean everything is covered on the ship just yet. And I saw that dreadnought, you beauty. No, we have the Agony Phase Lance. The Agony Phaser Spinal Lance, which has a 45-degree targeting arc and deals 10,567.8 phaser damage times 2, with a 41.8 phaser damage per second for 15 seconds, ignoring shields. That second bit of phaser damage counts as exotic damage and can be boosted by it. But honestly, from what I'm looking at here, it hasn't. Now, I don't know if it means that the Spinal Lance's version doesn't count the same as typical. But then again, this proc can only trigger once per trigger. Actually, I just noticed something. It's not part of a potential proc. Let me just double check this. Yep, it's not in the same proc, which means, because as you can see there, my phaser damage here, my possible proc version is up to 130. This is, again, this is partially because of my boosting. Now that can only trigger once per its period, which isn't bad. Can stack with other exotic damage outputs. As you can see, mine is doing it via radiation as well. It's not bad, but it's a good lance. I'll give it that. I'll give the lance that. It's reasonable. Apparently with control amplifications we get some extra abilities from this as well. I didn't think this would have the control amplification side to it, but apparently it does. The other things I just quickly want to note on is that because this is a control boat, we do gain the lovely benefit of against all odds from the control lineup. The other abilities do come in handy for control boats, but honestly, this is the one that, for me, means the most. 100% reduction in weapon power cost, and 33% bonus all damage for 15 seconds. Yes, please. Now then, with all this being said, and for me easily now being able to say that, yeah, honestly, I think this ship is absolutely amazing. Let's just take a quick look at the customizer itself. Interesting choice they went to first of all. On the screen right now, we have the Mirror Pathfinder. Now, things to note with this bundle that you get the Pathfinder visual. You should also find that you have the normal Pathfinder. You will have the Warship, hopefully. The Mirror Intrepid, Mirror Pathfinder, Trailblazer, which I think looks absolutely amazing. Whoops, Mirror Warship. I think I said Warship as well. You should gain access to all of these, mostly because, as noted already, those are the ones shown when you talk about this bundle. This does mean purchasing this ship, if you don't already have the Bellerophon, the ship in question, if you don't already have the Bellerophon or don't already have the legendary Intrepid Warship, then you won't have access to this skin. But hey, let's be fair. You saw the skin I'm using straight off the bat. Clearly, I'm not too too opposed. What can I say? All I do is this, and I've got my ship. Hala! That was the USS Saru for me. Kind of. Interesting amount of customization options you get. You do also get... Hang on, let me get the... Where's the... Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Ah, there it is. Mirror Trailblazer. There you are. I was looking for you. Okay. Now, you do also gain access to the other hull types now added to it. So we have the Defiant, Galaxy, Intrepid, NX line. NX looks really good on this ship, if I'm honest. Actually do really quite like that. Sovereigns, which, if I'm honest, again, doesn't actually look as good in my opinion. I don't know, the yellow gold is a bit too bright for me. You do have the Terran ones, which honestly look stupid. But that's just because I don't think they'd throw all the patterns everywhere. I do genuinely believe it looks a lot better when they do the more modernized Terran look, where the pattern is only really on the front, because that's more in fitting with the original aesthetics. You have Type 7 and Type 7A if you do desire them, depending on your looks and choices. An upgrade doesn't look too bad on this ship either, if I'm honest. Now, having said all this, can I please just note one thing right now? I've said this ship is good, but I don't want you to just take my word for it. Let's take the ship into action and see what she can really do. Join me in a moment. So here we go, and I'm going to be blunt with you guys right now as we battle through this and you can see what it's doing. I strongly feel this Xen-Star ship is the Titan, and I'm going to say this, it is the Titan of hybrid DPS. You can see it's doing relatively standard damage at the moment. Why do I think it's the Titan of hybrid DPS? Because it gets everything that it needs just right. And there is only one ship I can think of that is going to really surpass it in that field, and that is the Crossfield Refit, a promo store ship. But this ship is Xen-Star, giving me way better, putting it in a way better place in my head. The result is this. Honestly, I feel like this ship is going to go the distance. I can see it hitting home just the way you wanted to hit home, in both DPS, in both support, and somewhat in shield tanking. I'm sitting here and just letting my exotic damage company take out a Galor class. I mean, come on. I'm going to go up to this guy and I'm just going to erase him now because I can. I couldn't be more impressed with what this ship represents, what this ship stands for in the game right now. Whoops. It's a powerhouse. It's great. It's what we've been needing for the last 2 years. I'm just really happy to see that Cryptic stopped and thought, do you know what? Let's go back to our old ways. Let's not do the legendary bundles of the last 2 damn years. Which, yes, they brought some really nice things into the game, but cost players an arm and a damn leg. No. What we have here, quite gracefully and quite nicely, in fact, is an accessible, an excellent accessible ship for most players, and definitely for budget builds. And that's the important part to me. So for my final scoring on the ship, it's going to be as such. I'll start off with its weakest area, tanking. Now that sounds funny when I say that, because it's got a 1.3 on shields. But that is its weakest area. Does that not say something? Shield tanking, it's absolutely amazing. Not so great on hull tanking, especially with its low engineering abilities. But that also justifiably can counteract itself. At least it's got decent regenerative shield abilities and decent shield defenses if you wanted to shield tank with this ship. I probably wouldn't recommend it myself. Actually, I definitely wouldn't recommend it myself, because you'd be focusing too much on augmenting your shields to really utilise what this ship is best at. Which is... well, actually, we're not going to go there. We'll go support. It kind of falls into where we're going, because support is right up there because of how good it is at support, is why it's so good at the thing it's best at. Support-wise, this ship is going to be a scientific marvel. It will do everything very easily for you, and it is a very cheap and accessible ship. As a result, and thanks to its both command and miracle worker specializations that you can have on this ship, you will find yourself easily able to both benefit your allies offensively, defensively, and by basic control or drain. Either way of speaking, this ship is an amazing support. I just realised I didn't actually score the tank. Yeah, tanking wise, overall, I give this ship 6.5 out of 10. Shield tanking does actually achieve 8.5 out of 10, but it's weakened badly by how weak its hull defense is. Support wise, 9.5 out of 10. Easily. There's just one thing it needs to boost it up. And can you guess what specialization that actually is? Now, can we get better? Well, let's talk tactical. Tactical speaking, this ship is very, very strong. X upgrading, you do have 5 tactical slots. Possibly. You also have a impressive Agony Lance, which deals its own significant extra damage to itself. Hopefully its proc does not coincide with typical Agony weapon procs. If it does, then that means you sort of negate one of the procs out, but hey ho. If it stacks up, then great. Now, ignoring that sector though, we can talk about its science DPS capability, which is astronomical. But its ability to tear an enemy apart with space wizardry pales in the fact that this ship easily and comfortably can combine your atypical tactical DPS and science DPS, resulting in a ship that is a bit of a glass cannon, but sports incredible amount of damage output. And as a result, tactically speaking, I'm going to give this ship 9.5 out of 10. And again, the only reason it isn't higher is because, honestly, well, honestly, specialization. The command part is amazing. The Miracle Worker part is amazing. But I actually feel like this ship would have been more powerful if it was complete command. Or command and intelligence. Or command and temporal. Do not get me wrong, I do think the Miracle Worker is a great addition for the ship and is what helps to make the support so strong. But if you wanted to make this ship a little bit higher up in DPS, get that 10 out of 10, you'd have had to have been temporal or intelligence in place of that Miracle Worker. Final overall score of this ship, she's done it. She has achieved one of the rare scores that I give. She gets 10 out of 10. Why? She's cheap and easily accessible. Relatively useful budget trait. Maybe not in the long game, but useful. A decent passive effective console. Definitely has a long game as a side effect to itself. The style and look of this ship is absolutely beautiful. I wish right now I was able to credit the artist, but unfortunately I'm waiting for an answer on that. Honestly speaking, the person who helped design the Pathfinder originally, and the person that has helped to do this new updated variant of the Pathfinder, straight up incredible work done. Absolutely love it. The one thing I do want to note is that this is the first Intrepid that I'm very comfortable with. And actually noting that her incredible potential and ability is what solidified that 10 out of 10 with me. Yes, I highly recommend her to all players. I definitely recommend her to people who love space wizardry, 100%. Anyone new to the game who wants to get into sort of great high-end exotic or DPS builds and learn to combine the two with science vessels, this is an absolutely excellent ship for you. Someone who wants a ship that carries the line between escort and science vessel, this is the perfect ship for you. Honestly, yeah, I 100% recommend this vessel. Cryptic, you've outdone yourself. This is a beautiful ship and beautiful work you've done. Thank you so much for not carrying on the stuff that I've had so much anger at you with for the last couple of years. This has really given me hope. Looking forward to seeing what comes in the future. I'm looking forward to looking at the next 4 ships. Thank you guys. Until next time. Can I just say, it's a pleasure to have you towards the end, to watch to the end of this video. I hope that you will comment below your thoughts on the ship and your opinions. Let me know what you like, dislike. Tell me if you'll be getting the ship. I'm interested to hear, whether you're buying the full bundle or just the ship. And, hey, if you enjoyed this kind of video and wish to join the crew of the ShadowStar, then please remember to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on future missions. Maybe even like and share this video because it will really help the channel out. And a massive thank you again to the people credited on the screen who have helped to make this video and so many others possible. Couldn't be done without their support. Hopefully, I'll see you guys next time. Until then, Trailblazer, leaving. Live long and prosper.